Hi everybody, welcome to At Home with Gigi. I'm Gwen. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to be a part of the Napkin Exchange Challenge again this month, and I received my package from LaParsha from creating it myself, and she was so very generous and sent all of these items in addition to the napkins. Thank you. It was very, very sweet and generous of you, LaParsha. This month we could choose any of the napkins that we wanted to in the collection that was sent. Some months we have to use what is sent to us, and this is the very, very sweet note that LaParsha included. And she sent some of the most beautiful napkins, and yes, I do love Mackenzie Child. I just did not use it in this video. I knew immediately when I saw them I wanted to use them in an upcoming fall video. And aren't they just the most gorgeous napkins? Oh, they're just beautiful. But these napkins with the gold polka dots, that made me decide to do another Christmas in July video. I didn't think I was going to get to do another one. And I'm going to be using those and these red check napkins. And I just can't wait to show you what I've created. And I will also tell you more about the challenge. Now let's get started. We're going to be using this beautiful napkin from LaParsha and also this leopard print napkin that came from Hobby Lobby, and I got that back in the spring. And I'm also going to be using a sheet of this vintage music, and I purchased this from Etsy. It was a whole collection of them, just very inexpensive. I'll link that down below. I'm also going to be using this palette that came from the Dollar Tree, and as you can see it was only $3 from their Dollar Tree Plus section. This wooden Christmas tree candle holder thing that you would never use as a candle holder, and then just a variety of these wooden Christmas tree ornaments. But this tree that's in my hand I'm not using. And I just took the sheet music and popped it in the oven because I do not have a laser printer. I have an ink printer and I didn't want my ink to run, so I just put it in there on low setting for 10 minutes, and then when it came out I sprayed it with hairspray to set it and let it dry completely. And then I just went in and gave my palette a good sanding, just shave off any rough edges that it might have, wiped it down really well. And then I'm going to use this never-ending bottle of Folk Art Antique Wax, and I just mixed mostly water, and don't know why I didn't make up more than what I did, but I went back and made up some more and just gave it one good coat, went back over it with my wipe, wiped off all the excess, and then just let that dry. Went ahead and broke apart the wooden candle holder, whatever that thing is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And just sanded off the rough edges around the end. And now I'm just giving each of the Christmas trees one coat of the Waverly chalk paint and alabaster. I just want to make sure that that wood is not going to show through my napkins. I'm going to go ahead and add a generous layer of Mod Podge to the top of the palette because I'm going to use the iron and wax paper method to add on my sheet music because I want it to have a really smooth finish on top. I love these napkins, y'all. They are so pretty, but only one corner of them has the little shiny, it looks like gold ornaments to me, so that's the corner I'm going to be using. And I just trimmed that off and pulled off the backing, and I'm just adding a very light layer of Mod Podge because these are, once you pull that backing off, they're very, very thin and delicate, and I didn't want to have too much Mod Podge on there. And then I'm just going to center them up on top as best I can, and as you'll see here, I didn't get it centered exactly as I wanted it, but I was able to lift it up just enough to reposition it. And I'm just going to use some of this cling wrap and then just smooth it out, just kind of dabbing and pushing just a little bit because, like I said, after taking the backing off, it's very, very thin. I want to take a moment and tell y'all about the napkin exchange challenge that I'm participating in again this month. This is my second month and I am just having so much fun with this challenge. And our host is Sarah over at Sunflowers and DIYing, and her co-host for this month is Sharon from Cheap to Chic. And I will have both of those ladies' channels listed down below. Y'all got to go over and check them out. They are just wonderful. And I will have the playlist with everybody else's videos listed. Please go and check them out. Give them a big thumbs up and show them some love. Tell them that I sent you over there. And if you are here from the playlist, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're enjoying my content, I hope you'll give me a big thumbs up and decide to become a part of my YouTube family. So let's just hop right back into the video now. And I'm just going to do the same process with my little small Christmas trees. And all three of those I'm going to cover with the leopard print napkin. And no, I didn't mean to coordinate with my top. That was just an accident. I'm just showing you that I've let it dry completely, and then as you can see it's hanging over quite a bit, and even though I'm going to use the sanding block to get off the extra, I did go back and trim off because it was a little too much hanging over and I didn't want it to stick to the sides of my palette. And I'm just using my iron on the very lowest setting, and this little travel iron I got from Walmart a while ago, and it wasn't but maybe 10 bucks or less. But anyway, it works great for little projects like this. And then I'm just using my scissors to snip in between the branches because, like I said, this napkin is so thin and delicate. I was afraid if I just started sanding with my little handy dandy nail file it would tear. And then I just went around and just very gently just sanded off the excess napkin. As I always like to tell you, you can take an idea and completely turn it into your own. You can use whatever colors, or if you don't want to use napkins, you can use scrapbook paper, tissue, anything like that. But obviously this is a napkin challenge, and I got these from La Parcha and I just thought they were beautiful. And I'm just showing you the nice clean finish that you can get with using a nail file. And I'm just using my X-Acto knife and just going in between the slats and trying to cut as straight a line as possible. But with me that's almost impossible, but that's okay. I'm going to go back with my nail file and then just sand in between the slats and just get off all of that excess paper. And this was time consuming, I'm not even going to kid about that, but it is so worth it in the end because it does give you just a nice clean finish. But you just got to be patient and just work that nail file in between the slats, that way you don't tear your paper. I don't think I mentioned it at the beginning of the video, but the name of the song is Old Tannenbaum or Old Christmas Tree. And the collection that I got from the Etsy shop was just a beautiful vintage collection of songs, and I will list their shop down below and go check them out. Totally not sponsored or anything like that. I just thought that it was just beautiful vintage Christmas music. And I'm just hot gluing my little tree to the front of my sign. I put a good amount of hot glue on there because I really want to make sure they stay in place, but I also want to make sure that I didn't put too much where it'd run between the slats. I'm just lining them up on as best I can there on the front. And y'all, I am loving these colors together, or the napkins I should say together, the polka dot and the leopard print. I just love it. And I wanted to add some beads to my handle for my palette, and I'm just painting the square beads with alabaster from Waverly Chalk Paint. And then these larger beads, they came from Amazon and I've had them a long time. And I'm just giving them one coat of the pure gold from Folk Art. And then all that's left is just to reattach my handle. I'm just going to add in a little bit of extra glue on each side just for some extra security, and then just add a piece of this ribbon on top just to cover up all the work and make it have a nice, clean, finished appearance. Y'all, I am really, really loving this together. I know I say that about all of my projects, but some you love and some you really love. And this, I am loving the polka dots and the leopard print together. I gotta find a way to make this work with my color scheme because I don't know if I'm gonna change it up this year or not. Thinking about it. But anyway, let me know what you think. Would you use the polka dots and the leopard print together? If not, what colors would you use? For this DIY, we're going to use these mini ornaments that came from Walmart last year. And I'm showing the napkin here from La Parcha, but I did change that up a bit, and I'll explain that in a couple of minutes. The little shadow box house, and that came from the dollar spot at Target. And then one of these wooden Santa ornaments that came from Dollar Tree last year. I'm just going to use some spackle that came from the Dollar Tree and just fill in that little hole at the top of Santa. And I'm using my finger on the back side because the spackle kept falling through just to hold it in place, and then I just smoothed it out and set it aside to dry. While that was drying, I went ahead and popped out the back of the house, and I'm just going to give it a good sanding around the edges because I want to give it a coat of Waverly White chalk paint. I just wanted to say I apologize if you hear any loud noises in the background. The honey volunteered to cook dinner so I could do my voiceover tonight. I've been sick and haven't been able to work on my project, and he was so sweet, so please bear with us tonight. And I'm just going to use Crimson from Waverly Chalk Paint, and I'm going to also use a little piece of this cardboard to get just a real sharp, crisp line right there at the top of his hat. And I didn't want to paint over the little ball there. As y'all have heard me say, I am a messy painter sometimes and I get in too big of a hurry. So I'm trying to take my time with this. And this, I love to paint. I'm messy at it, but I love to paint. It's just so relaxing to me. But y'all have to tell me something. As I continue painting Santa, tell me what he looks like. Just put it down in the comment. Tell me what he looks like. I'm not going to say until I get through to the end of painting him, but you got to tell me what you think he looks like. So have you figured out who he looks like? I really think he looks like Winnie the Pooh right here. Before I started painting in his mittens, and I'm using ink from Waverly Chalk Paint just to paint in the mittens and his boots. And for my trees, I'm using a mixture of the marsh green and Christmas green from Apple Barrel. And as you can see, I'm just going back and forth and mixing it. I didn't want to have just one solid color. I just wanted it to have a little bit of dimension and depth. And I hope I'm describing that correctly. I am not a painter. I love to paint, but I am not a painter. But I just thought it looked really pretty and I wanted to add it to my little shadow box. And here I'm just adding just a little bit of white to the tips of the trees. I just want them to look like they were brushed by snow. I decided that Santa still looked like Winnie the Pooh even with painting his mittens and his boots. So I decided to use just plain old cotton balls and just make some faux fur to go on the tip of his hat and across the brim of his hat, and just put them around the edges of his mittens and his boots. And then I'm also going to make him a little beard. This would be a fun project to do with the kids, your children, your grandchildren. And they don't have to use hot glue. You can just use plain old Elmer's glue. But this would be really, really fun to create ornaments for your tree. Because every year at my local Dollar Tree, they come out with the Santa, the bell-shaped ornaments, and the ornament-looking ornaments, and the snowflakes, and Frosty as well. And it would just be a fun, fun project to do with them. Okay, so this is where I change it up a bit. I'm going to use the scrapbook paper instead of the napkin. I'll use that in the next project. And I'm also going to use the smaller of the two houses. And I'm just outlining the shape that I want. Cut that out. I have already added the layer of Mod Podge like y'all seen me do. Let that dry, and then I'm just going to use my iron on low setting. I'm going to cover it with wax paper and just keep smoothing over it with the iron until I'm sure that paper is attached. And then I'm just going to use one of these miniature ornaments that came from Walmart last year, and these are so wonderful to decorate with. And this one just says ho ho ho. And I had some beads left over from my earlier project, and I'm just putting those on the back of the Santa and the Christmas tree. It just helps give them some stability and to help them set up a little better. I'm just using hot glue because I need it to set up really quickly for video purposes, but if you want to make sure it has a permanent hold, you can always use E6000 or my personal favorite, the Gorilla Gel Glue. I thought it needed just a little something else, so I dug through my bag of greenery that y'all know I have from every season and just pulled out some little sprigs of greenery and just added it to the top of the house. And just adding in just a little bit of berries. Got to have a little bit more red there at the top. And I'm just placing that spatula up under there because I added a little too much hot glue and I didn't want it to drip down and mess up the inside of my house. And y'all, I don't even know what this thing is called, but I just snipped the back of it off because I wanted a little something to go in between the berries and hide my little handiwork in there. And this is what it looks like. I thought it turned out so very cute. Y'all have to tell me what you think. Does it look like a Santa now and not like Winnie the Pooh? Or does it look like Winnie the Pooh dressed up like Santa? Okay, so we're going to use the other little house. I'm going to pop the back out and sand it down and give it a good coat of the Waverly White chalk paint. I'm going to speed through this so I don't bore you guys. And for this project, we're going to use the little snowman ornament. Although whenever I looked at it after I finished it, it looked more like a penguin or a little baby chick than it did a snowman. But oh well, he's a snowman for today. And I'm just giving him a good coat of the Waverly White chalk paint. And you can use, again, the apple barrel acrylic or whatever you might have on hand. And I'm just using ink from Waverly Chalk Paint for his top hat. Again, this would just be so much fun to do with your kiddos or grandbabies. Get them all together and have each one of them create a different ornament for Christmas and just have so much fun with it. I have 12 of them, so all of them except for the baby who is 5 months old. I could have 11 different ornaments, and well, 12 because one of us would paint it for her. But anyway, I'm just using Harvest Orange from Apple Barrel to paint his little nose. And y'all, I swear he looks like a baby chick or a penguin, not a snowman. And I just cut off a little strip of the glittery red ribbon that you can get from Dollar Tree during the holidays, and I'm just going to hot glue that around his hat. And every little snowman needs a scarf, and so I'm just using another piece of ribbon, and we're just going to tie it and make a little knot. Again, here's somewhere where you can just play with the colors. If you don't want to use red, you can do blue, green, orange, whatever color that you might want to use. I've already added the Mod Podge to the back of my house, let that dry completely, and I'm just measuring out how much of the napkin I'm going to use. I probably should have used a different technique here, but y'all, I am in love with this technique. It gives you such a smooth finish, and that's what I want for the back of my house, a really smooth, clean finish. Using another one of the little tags that I bought last year from Walmart. It's just little mini ornaments, and these are fantastic to do little projects with. And it just says "Let It Snow," and I thought it was so appropriate to use with my snowman. So I'm just going to add in these two little trees, and we all know we can find these at the Dollar Tree every year during the holidays, and I thought they were just perfect because they were dusted with snow. And I also added a bead to the bottom of the snowman just to help him sit up a little better. You know, I did have just so much fun making these, and I think they would just be perfect on a tiered tray, and I think they're just absolutely adorable. But you gotta tell me, does it look like a baby chick or a penguin, or does it look like a snowman? So what do you think about my "Oh Tannenbaum" or "Oh Christmas Tree" sign? Would you mix polka dots and leopard print together? What do you think? Tell me down below. Please don't forget to go check out the playlist down below and give all those ladies some love. And guys, I appreciate you so much for being here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!